Okay, so we're live. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Today we will be having a different kind of ChildLinK talk because today we will be having youth perspective. And with me, I have 3 of our youth advocate mentors. And what I will do is ask them each, starting with you, Shamika, to introduce yourself and tell us something interesting about you.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Shamika Ross. I am 15 years old and I attend St. Joseph High School. And I like to dance.
Okay.
My name is Shamika Ross. I am 15 years old.
Okay, you, Sarah.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Sarah Ramsamy. I'm 13 years old. I attend North Cromwell Secondary School, and I'm athletic swimmer for Guyana.
Okay, so we have a dancer, we have a swimmer, and we also have Mr. Shaquan Amsterdam, who is here with us today. However, he might more so be in and out due to some difficulties that he's encountering with his internet. So if you are on this live, I encourage you to share it, call a friend and tell a friend that we are here sharing youth perspective, where we give the young people a chance to share their understanding on issues surrounding family and child rights. Okay, so remember that this program is brought to you under our Recovery, Safeguarding, Reintegration Initiative, and is funded by the delegation of the European Union to Guyana. So thank you guys for joining us. And today we will be talking about family bonding and the importance of family bonding. So we would have had, this will be the 3rd program that we're having discussing family bonding. And one of the reasons is because we really want you guys to understand the importance. And we will only be here for a short period of time. So without further ado, we're going to do a little icebreaker. And I'm going to ask my speakers, Sarah and Shamika, to show us a photo of someone who they find very inspiring in their family and say why. And I'm going to start with you, Shamika.
Well, one person that I find inspiring in my family is my sister, my biggest sister, Serena. Okay. I find her inspiring because she is very hardworking and determined, and she's very kind, and I want to be as hardworking and determined as she is.
Okay, what about you, Sarah?
Well, I don't have a photo of my inspiring person, but that would be my mother. She inspires me to do a lot. And without her, today I won't be here. Speaking up to others, teaching others. So thanks to her, I'm here.
Okay, and I think that in our families, we all have that one person, or maybe a few persons who we look up to and who we find to be very, very inspiring in our lives. And as I speak to you, I'm looking for a photo of my person that I have in my phone. But my person so happened to be my mom too, who I find very hardworking, and I admire her resilient nature. And I hope that one day, that this is my photo, I hope that one day I'm able to, be at least half of the woman that she is. And my mother is a beautiful woman. And so I want to be like my mom. And so we all have people in our family that we look up to and that we love. And so like I mentioned earlier, guys, today we will be discussing family bonding. And I have here with me Shamika and Sarah, who will be sharing their perspective on what it is. So I'm going to ask you guys, based on your understanding, what do you think family bonding is? Any one of you can go first. Sarah?
Well, I think family bonding would be time that family sit down and have fun, do certain activities together, interact with other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you, Shamika?
For me, family bonding is the time in which the family comes together and spends time together and does meaningful things.
Okay, thank you so much. And you see that meaningful things, you come together with the intention of bonding with each other, getting to know each other better and understanding each other. So it is important that families take up this initiative. And so, just to show our viewers that we know what we're talking about here today with regards to family bonding, you know, can you guys share an experience with me that you might have had with regards to bonding with your families?
Um. Well, a time. During family bonding, I should say, we play Ludo game. Play board games. And board games, there's a lot of cooperating with each other. And you know, board games, nobody likes to lose, so it's fun. It's fun.
How about you, Shamika?
One of my favorite family bonding experience was a time when me and my family, not only my nuclear family, but my extended family, we went to Jubilee Water Park. And I remember seeing vehicles one after the other because some people didn't know where the place was located. So we had to be following each other. And then when we were there, we were so excited to go in the pool. And we were like, as soon as we arrived there, we just went to the dressing room, changed, and went into the pool. And when I remember a big slide that was there, I used to call it the big people slide because I was too small and it was going down into the deep side and I was too short, so I couldn't go over on that side. And I remember asking my parents if I could go down the slide, and they said yes, but I would have to go with an adult. So I remember my grandfather taking me and my little sister down the slide, and he was holding on to us. And when we were nearing the bottom of the slide, he let me go because he had to hold my baby sister so that she wouldn't drown or anything. And when I was like go, I went under the water and I was just like my eyes was burning. I was trying to get my head above the water, but that wasn't happening. And then my grandfather finally came next to me and like he raised me up out of the water so that my head was above the water. And then after that, we were playing a few games inside of the pool. Like they had this net, and we were playing volleyball in the water. And that was one of my favorite family bonding experiences.
Yeah, we can see that because you see the light in your eyes when you're speaking about this experience, and your grandfather was there to catch you and to get you out of the water. You were able to bond with not only your immediate family but also your extended family members, and nothing beat the times when you get to spend times with your cousins. Nothing beat those times. And playing board games and these things with family are all activities that will help them to see and understand who you are. Sarah is a competitive person. She's resilient. Sarah don't make joke when it comes to Ludo. She's a cheat. So they learn that you're a fair and you're a just person. So it's time that we spend meaningfully with our families. We want to spend this time together to get to have fun with each other and know and understand each other. And I would often say a time that I had with my family that I value the most will have to be swimming trips. When I'm from Linden, so we would go to Bucktown. And so you can only go, there's a creek called Bucktown. And so you can only, but we could have only gone into the shallow part of the water where it barely at your ankle, and everybody in the dip, and you're just looking on and they're looking out for you, they're protecting you, you're laughing, you're talking, and becoming closer, building a bond with your family member. And can you ladies tell me, why is it important that this bond is developed between family members? Why is it important that family practice bonding?
Well, I think that it is important for a family to have family bonding because as the child gets older and the child goes out into the world, it would be easier for the child to communicate and conversate with people. And also, not only family bond is not only important for when the child is ready to go out into the world, but also within the family to like build a stronger relationship with each other.
Yeah, that is so true. How about you, Sarah? What do you think? Why do you think it is important that families practice bonding?
Well, I agree with Shamiko with the, getting to know your child or
Hmm.
any other sibling better. And not only that, the child can have an like experience, you know,
Yeah, with family. Yeah, yeah. I think
cooperate with others, like
yes.
learn to
Yeah, learn.
cooperate with others.
Yes, yes. So basically, what you ladies are saying is that family bonding and how you interact with your family are basically what they're saying. It sets the pace for how they interact with the world, how they socialize, the kind of relationships that they have, how to resolve conflict, and all of these different things. So you have a better communications and communication system, and it becomes easier for children to confide or trust their parent or parents when bonding is evident within the family, when you can go to mommy or you can go to daddy and you guys can talk about, something is, I had a bad day at school today. Mommy asked you, how was school today? I feel like this particular teacher to speak on me, and you're able to freely talk. Shamika, is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, no.
Okay. All right, thank you for that. So they learn how to listen, how to work together. It's important that families actually develop that bond. It fosters so much understanding, right? So there are a variety of ways in which family can do this. And so I would like you ladies to tell me or tell the viewers rather, what are some ways in which family, some activities that they can participate in that fosters bonding?
Well, one one way in which families can come together, an activity that they could do for family bonding would be playing board games, like Sarah said in the last question. Um, like Monopoly and there's Scrabble, Ludo. Another way is like going to the park. And going to the park doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go to the park and play. It could just, just the presence of the family, just being there, it would be a family bonding experience. And also movie night. Well, for me, I would prefer movie nights in my house because like if you're at a movie, like at the theaters, and you don't understand like a part of the movie and you want to ask a question, right? You wouldn't find it if you're in your house, you wouldn't find it weird to just, ask your family members what's going on or something. But like if you're in a theater now, you would find it weird because everybody's just around you and you just can't be loud or whatever. So I find it nicer indoors than at the theater.
Well, some ways that you can bond with your family, some activities, um, cooking. Cooking can be a big activity to do with your family. Cooking, going to a movie, going to the park, going to a pool. There are much, much more. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thanks for that. There's so many things that people can do. Cook together, like Sarah said. Teach your daughter or your son how to cook rice. You guys can talk when you're in the kitchen. Eating together is a way that family can bond. Sometimes you're sitting and you're eating and you're having some of the most hilarious conversations, or you're just talking to each other, and you forget about mannerism or manners, and to not speak with food in your mouth. But when you're with your family, you should be so comfortable that you're able to laugh. You must master the art of laughing, you know, while eating. And so it is your family, it is your home, it is where you belong. And so you can watch movies like Sarah mentioned, go to the park, drives. When you driving the children to school, parents, or when you're in the car going to school with your parents, you talk, you have conversation. So, today's gonna be a good day. Mommy, we're cooking today, and all of these conversations, sharing Nancy stories. We talk Nancy stories, Sensi Bell, and we share those stories with Miss Mary. And parents can even, something that my mom used to do would be share her childhood stories with me, which were so hilarious to the point where sometimes you laugh so much, it's hard to breathe. I know about having those moments when mommy and daddy would sit and share their childhood stories, and my it's three of us, me, my brother, and my sister, and we would sit there and we would be cracking up with laughter. And those are some of the most priceless moments that I've spent with my family. Nothing expensive, just talking, but laugh, a lot of laughing. And so those are important traditional games. When last year they are or solo. Those are
Well, every year, Dolphins Peterson Club
mm-hmm,
has a camp
mm-hmm,
in October. So
mm-hmm.
all the athletes and the parents and everybody and the coaches and everybody would go, and we would remember we gotta go in dorms and sleep. So they have different dorms, and we would normally like prank prank others and just sleep in, or play solos like you said.
Yeah,
And yeah,
yeah,
and the that's nice ways to
yeah. And I know your mom would, sorry for cutting, would travel with you guys, Sarah, for swim meets and these things. And I see all of those opportunities as lovely bonding opportunities, because she would come back and she would talk about that you guys were able to do this, and you guys were able to do that. Makes me a bit jealous, but but it's really good to know when you can have a bond with your parents, right? Okay, so what would you say to a parent or families who does not practice bonding with their child or children? Sarah, you want to go first?
yeah. I would say to them that you gotta listen to your child. If you don't listen, you won't know what's going on in this child's life. You don't know how to fix the problems in their life. And there are many other, problems in terms of not bonding with your child or children. So family bonding is very important for you and your family.
Yes. How would you, Shamika?
For families or for parents that don't have family bonding time, I want to say that they should start now, because there's some families that have avoided family bonding time and they realize that their child or their children have become distant. And I want to say that if you start now, maybe it's going to be hard at first, and the child might seem like they're not acknowledging you, but you can't give up on them. You have to continue. There's some people that might only try for like a couple of days, and then they realize that they're not getting anywhere. So then they decide that they're just gonna leave the child, just leave the child. But I want to say that family is really important, and to have that strong relationship with your child, it's very welcoming for them. And I want to say that the child might a simple hello, how was your day, how was your day at school, or how are you doing, it lets the child know that you care. And after a while of you asking those simple questions, they will just willingly come to you and tell you what's going on. They will not wait for you to ask them how's their day. They will just come to you and tell you, well, today wasn't good or today was good, you know? So that's what I want to say to parents. Just keep trying. Family member, just keep trying.
Yeah, and I think that's a two very vital points that you ladies make. One where, you know, when you speak to your children, and not only speak, but when you listen to your children, it fosters that relationship, and it fosters that bond between the two of you, which makes it easier for your child to speak to you. And then Sarah, you're not smiling. Why? this is Sarah spoke about having your child open up to you, and bonding fosters that trust, that level of intimacy between a parent and a child with regard to speaking and opening up and communication. And then you, Shamika, you spoke about the importance of trying to just push. Sometimes we have sometimes parents have very busy schedule, but to ask your child how how was your day will not do no harm, will not take any time. And to ask them doesn't mean to ask them and to say, how was your day? And the child talking and you gone upstairs. But it means to actively listen to that child and even suggest solutions. It was okay, sometimes we have bad days, but that's okay. This is how you deal with it. When you have a bad day, you get angry, sit in the corner and count to 10. you know Pray about it. Think about a happy place. All of those things are things that we can do to foster bonding. So ladies, I'm going to put you on the spot here, and I'm going to ask you, for a young person or young woman or man whose parents does not practice bonding, right? Remember, we give advice to parents just now. So what would you say to that young person? What would you say to that child?
Well, some of those children that haven't experienced family bonding, they most likely will be closed up to themselves. But I want to tell you guys that closing up wouldn't really help much. You have to try and make your parents listen. It might be hard, yes, like they're busy, but you have to tell them that you have to speak to them now. You have to talk about something now, and just keep trying with your parents. Some parents can't be available, some parents are busy, but you have to make them know that you're supposed to be number one priority. Yes.
I like the way you said number one priority because that's the way all decisions should be made in the best interest of the child. You, Sarah?
I agree with Shamika 100%, but in some cases, children don't, want to be a part of this family bonding time. They're stuck with their phones all day, internet. Um, yeah, but I would like to say to them that there are many ways you can bond with your family, even though you can't go nowhere now. like make up games at home. Be creative. That could be a start. And then you can move on bigger and better as the days go by.
Yeah, and that's a good point that you brought up there, Sarah. Technology distracting us. So we stay connected, but we are disconnected from the people that are in our homes. And we have young people, and I'm so happy that Sarah made mention of that because you would have spoke to Shamika, parents not having time, but we have to consider too, there are some young, especially teenagers and adolescents, who get to catch up with their friend. They want to talk a name, they want, do something. And as a result of that, they're in school all day with their friends. But COVID-19 is a thing now, so they are not in school, so they're constantly on their phones, and they don't have time to spend with their family. Yes, Sarah, you want to say something?
Yeah, 24/7. I was just saying 24/7.
Yeah, they're 24/7. They're on their phones, and they're not participating. Maybe the family might be playing a game. I mean, it's a duty of the parent to call the child in, but it's also important that as young people sometimes, you take up the initiative. Be the creative mind. Your mother busy, so watch. We create this game. Let us play this game, honey. Right? Is there anything you'd like to add, Shamika?
No, I just want to say that yes, I agree with Sarah about the whole, the gadgets thing when the children they just want to go off into the gadgets and not really be in like they're there but they're not there. If you understand what I'm saying, they're just like in their
Yeah.
gadgets like all the time. And for them, I just think that they should give it a rest a little bit.
Free up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And parents should make their children their first priority, and all decision must be made in the best interest of the child. It's outlined in the UNCRC, which is the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. So it's important that we, give to our families, water the grass where it is green. That is an important something. We must do that. And so we're already out of time. We have 1 minute remaining. Right? That I will give you ladies the platform here to leave any final remarks. What would you say to our viewers at this time after everything that we would have discussed?
I would like to say thank you for tuning in to this live, and I hope you gathered some knowledge from what we were speaking about, and you will put it to practice if you haven't already.
Thank you so much, Shamika. Yes, Sarah?
I would like to say that all we have just discussed is very important. You mustn't ignore certain information like this. You need to gather information just like Shamika said and take it in and use it. Teach others.
Yes.
So that's what I would say.
Okay, so thank you, ladies, so much. I'm so privileged to have my youth advocate mentors join me today to give you youth perspective. So, ladies and gentlemen, looking at this program, this live, you have it from the youths. So, thank you, ladies, once more for joining me today. Thank you, guys, who tuned in for being a part of this program. I really, really enjoyed my time with you. Remember to tune in next week, Thursday, at 2:00 p.m. for another episode of ChildLinK TalK Youth Perspective. Next week, we will be speaking about the importance of family life. So thank you, ladies. Have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.
You
You
too.
too.